hit that. Sound like you like it. Then I hit that.
Today, from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man open, it's Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well. He's locked in early. 2 nice first down completions to start.
I like the fact that he's seeing the whole field early, spreading it around a little bit in the early going.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. The numbers for him from a week ago. 22 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
When you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
And that'll be complete to Dillon. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to...
And he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! A.J. Dillon, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Laviska Shenault, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
This is it! This is it!
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3.
He'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And this one's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
That'll be complete to the running back, A.J. Dillon.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. John Ross with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call them productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
At their own 20-yard line.
So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Kansas City.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5. Connection made with Shenault.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Laviska Shenault.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Danielle Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Raiders have got him.
Javon Kinlaw. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Dillon, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 2nd and 1. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
He's going to look deep now for Landry. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Jarvis Landry in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. There aren't any speed limits out there, and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Robbie Gould.
That's a tough spot as a quarterback, Charles. You want to get rid of it, but you see what can happen when you do try to get rid of it with pressure.
Yeah, and how about the pressure coming without them having to blitz? That's when you know things are clicking for your defense.
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it.
Set to kick off.
Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be...
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he'll be out right at the 35.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. It's 3rd down and 10.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second intercept. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. They run the draw play with Mack. And some room to work. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive. They'll run here with Mack. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The score, Chiefs 24. Raiders.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? They find some open field here. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line is taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down.
21-yard line.
Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one in second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Flush to his right. That is caught at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. They'll run here with Dillon. And the Raiders are going to have it first and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Second and goal at the Chiefs' 3-yard line.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll go again here with Mack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a test.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Intercepted by the Chiefs.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard at the 41-yard line.
And that'll be incomplete.
Thrown away and incomplete. It's third down and 1 yard to go.
The Chiefs on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Chiefs on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll find a man. That's Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a first down here. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Mack. Javon Kinlaw, the big D tackle there to bring him down.
He's taken down.
Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score in this game.
Mack gets hit and the ball is free. And the Raiders pick it up. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. They'll run here with Mack, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout.